Have you ever wondered what life would be like on Saturn? A tantalizing proposition, isn't it? A life not bound by the familiar confines of our blue planet, but instead, amidst the gaseous swirls and icy rings of Saturn. This isn't just fanciful thinking, it's an exploration into the realm of possibility. Today, we're embarking on a journey to the sixth planet from the Sun, a place where day and night take on whole new meanings. Imagine a life, not on Earth, but on the sixth planet from the Sun. Saturn, a gas giant, poses a unique set of challenges for life as we know it. The planet is a truly fascinating celestial body, and it's quite different from our home planet in many ways. Let's start with its atmosphere. Saturn's atmosphere is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, much like the Sun. There's also a touch of methane, ammonia, and water vapor, but oxygen, the gas we humans need to breathe, is conspicuously absent. So unless we develop a way to breathe hydrogen or helium, we're going to need to bring our own air supply. Now let's talk about the temperature. Saturn is a chilly place, even compared to the coldest places on Earth. The average temperature on Saturn is about -285 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than any temperature ever recorded on Earth. To put it in perspective, that's so cold that most gases we're familiar with would freeze solid. Next up is gravity. Saturn's gravity is only about 92% of Earth's. That might not sound like a big difference, but it could have significant effects on the human body over time. For example, our muscles and bones could weaken from lack of use. And then there's the weather. Saturn is known for its intense and long-lasting storms. The most famous of these is the Great White Spot, a storm system that can be seen from Earth and lasts for months. The winds in these storms can reach speeds of up to 1,000 miles per hour, much faster than any hurricane on Earth. Finally, it's worth mentioning that Saturn doesn't have a solid surface. The planet is mostly made up of swirling gases and liquids. So even if we could withstand the harsh atmosphere, extreme cold, and intense storms, we'd still have nowhere to stand. The inhospitable environment of Saturn makes it a challenging yet intriguing prospect for human habitation. Let's delve into what a typical day might look like on Saturn. The day begins, but not as we know it. You see, on Saturn, a single day lasts just over 10.5 hours. That's right, your entire day from sunrise to sunset happens in less time than most of us spend at work on Earth. So, if you're a fan of those long, lazy summer days, Saturn might not be the place for you. Sleep cycles would have to adapt to this rapid rhythm. You might find yourself catching quick power naps throughout the Saturnian day, rather than one long sleep. Imagine, if you will, a series of short dreams, each one a brief escape from the alien world outside. Food consumption would also be a unique affair. With the lack of arable land, traditional farming as we know it would be out of the question. Instead, we might see the rise of lab-grown food, nourishing our bodies with scientifically optimized meals. Perhaps we'd even take a leaf out of the astronaut's book, with vacuum-packed meals becoming the norm. Now, communication on Saturn would be a challenge, to say the least. With the average distance to Earth being over 800 million miles, sending a simple hello back home would take over an hour. That's a long wait for a reply to your text messages. And let's not forget the weather. You thought Earth's weather was unpredictable? Saturn's storms are on a whole other level. With winds reaching over 1,000 miles per hour, stepping outside for a breath of fresh air might not be the wisest idea. Life on Saturn would be a dance with the extreme. Every aspect of daily life, from the rhythm of sleep to the way we eat and communicate, would need to adapt to the harsh realities of this gas giant. Life on Saturn would indeed be a radical departure from our earthly routines. Surviving on Saturn would be no small feat. The challenges are many, and they are formidable. First and foremost, there's the issue of breathable air, or rather the lack thereof. Saturn's atmosphere is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, with traces of methane and ammonia. Not exactly a breath of fresh air, is it? For humans to breathe, we'd need a continuous supply of oxygen, something that is conspicuously absent on Saturn. Then we have the issue of Saturn's extreme temperatures. Even the warmest day on Saturn is cold enough to freeze you solid. The average temperature on this giant gas planet is a bone-chilling -285 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you thought that was cold, the temperature drops even further the deeper you go into the planet. Another significant challenge is the high radiation levels. Saturn's magnetic field traps high-energy particles from the sun, creating radiation belts that would be harmful to humans and technology alike. To live on Saturn, we'd need advanced shielding to protect us from this harmful radiation. But let's not forget about gravity. Saturn's gravity is slightly less than ours on Earth, but it's enough to cause significant health problems over time. We're talking muscle and bone loss, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, how do we overcome these challenges? It would require technological advancements far beyond what we currently possess. We'd need to develop new materials and technologies capable of withstanding Saturn's extreme conditions. We'd need to create self-sustaining habitats with their own sources of oxygen and food. And we'd need advanced radiation shielding and gravity simulators to protect us from the harsh realities of life on Saturn. These challenges are daunting, no doubt, but they also represent an opportunity, a chance to push the boundaries of what's possible. They force us to innovate, to adapt, to evolve, and in doing so, they remind us of the very essence of what it means to be human. Facing these obstacles, survival on Saturn becomes a test of human ingenuity and resilience. Despite the challenges, life on Saturn could offer unprecedented opportunities. Imagine the frontier of scientific exploration that Saturn could provide. This gas giant holds mysteries that could keep scientists busy for centuries. Saturn's complex and dynamic atmosphere, its iconic rings and its multitude of moons, could provide new insights into the formation of our solar system and the nature of the universe itself. Each discovery would be a leap forward in our understanding, a new piece in the vast cosmic puzzle. Just as the gold rush drove westward expansion in the 19th century, Saturn could be the site of a resource rush in the 21st century. Beneath its swirling clouds, Saturn is believed to hold vast reserves of helium-3, a rare isotope on Earth that could be a game-changer in the field of nuclear fusion. If we could harness this potential energy source, we might solve our planet's energy problems and open up a new era of clean, virtually limitless power. Living on Saturn would also inevitably lead to the development of new technologies. The harsh conditions would demand solutions we can't yet imagine. We'd need to develop advanced materials to withstand the intense pressure and cold, new methods of transportation to navigate the planet's massive size and gravitational pull, and innovative means of communication to stay connected with each other and with Earth. Each of these advancements would not only help us survive on Saturn, but could also be used to improve life back on our home planet. And let's not forget the potential for personal growth. The pioneers who choose to live on Saturn will become a new breed of humans, resourceful, resilient, and adaptable. They'll learn to work together in ways we can only dream of, building a society that's truly out of this world. The harsh environment of Saturn could paradoxically be a cradle for human innovation and progress. Living on Saturn remains a fascinating yet daunting prospect. As we've journeyed through this exploration, we've uncovered the many layers of this complex proposition. Imagine waking up to a sky filled with rings of ice and rock, a sight that would never cease to amaze, yet the reality of such a life isn't as idyllic as the view. The hostile environment of Saturn, with its extreme temperatures, violent storms, and lack of solid ground, poses significant challenges. Everyday activities we take for granted on Earth, from a simple walk to breathing fresh air, would become insurmountable tasks. Yet, within these challenges, lie opportunities. The presence of water ice in the rings and the potential for hydrocarbons in the atmosphere open up possibilities for resource extraction and energy production. Not to mention, the gravity on Saturn is less than on Earth, which could lead to interesting adaptations in our physiology and technology. However, it's essential to remember that these are mere speculations, fascinating conjectures born out of our innate curiosity and thirst for knowledge. The reality of living on Saturn, as it stands today, is beyond our current technological and biological capabilities. So, the next time you gaze upon the night sky and spot Saturn, ponder on this. What if we lived on Saturn?